Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to day 21 of Ink Journal's challenge that I'm participating in. It's 30 inks, 30 days, and day 21 finds me writing with Colorverse Gravity Wave. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat here, I'm having trouble. I've tried 3 different lighting types to get this to come out the same, for you as what I'm actually seeing. And it just isn't quite working. When I look through the camera, it's showing much more teal. And when I look at it with my eye, I see more of the green. So just be aware that you might want to kind of look around and definitely get a sample of this. Don't buy based on this, because it's going to kind of flip back and forth, and we'll see with the water test. This is the second time I've tried it because I tried with the lighting to get it better for you. And I think there's nothing really wrong with my lighting. This is a tricky ink. Sometimes I look at it and I see green, and sometimes I see blue. So here we go. But when you add in light and water, you get even more, because, as much as I'm telling you that when I look at it, I see more of the green, as soon as it goes into here, the teal comes out. So it's very interesting. I mean, it's an interesting ink. So here we go. I got a little frustrated. I was hoping I could get an exact lighting here, but it just isn't happening. So we're going to do the best we can with what we have. It really looks dark here because here we are on the Rhodia Gold book, which is kind of ivory, and that through the viewfinder just looks blue, and I'm seeing much more blue-green. Anyway, it's going to probably frustrate me, but this is beautiful ink. It has incredible shading, and it has red sheen. I wish you could, I could get it to where you could see. I tried it without, just with natural light, it darkened even more. And then, 2 different ways that I usually have success. So I'll try to stop harping on that. But this ink is available at Jet Pens for $33 and Goulet pens for $36. But in each box, you get 2 bottles. You get a 35 milliliter bottle and a little 15 milliliter bottle. They're little round bottles, cute as can be. And this ink is made in South Korea. So one of the most impressive parts about it is the packaging, and I don't have packaging because I've only got samples. But soon I'm going to have some little 15 ml bottles because a generous, I'll call the person a benefactor, is sending me some empty little bottles, and it'll be so wonderful to have. So I'm really excited about that. So let's look at how this did. I wanted to show you from yesterday. Sorry about that. The Aurora Blue all but disappeared, but you can faintly still read it. So, there was just a little bit left on the page, and I wanted you to see that. And then, okay, so for this ink today, for the Colorverse Gravity Wave, I just love how it did on the Tomoe River paper. This is the Cafe Note from Nanami Paper Company. And this has the 7 millimeter lines on it. So, but it has incredible shading and sheen, which is very difficult to detect on this kind of a, I think you can see some of it right in here. I can show you the shading. And the sheen is difficult to see, but it's a red sheen, and it's gorgeous. This is so tempting. I didn't expect this. I actually thought this would be nice to write with and feel good about using the sample. But what's happening is it's gone on my wish list for a bottle because it's gorgeous. And I'll show you the comparables and why I actually like this better than another one I had considered. So there's that. Everything's going well. I'll be waiting for the doctor's, blood tests, but he gave me a couple of tips and was happy with what I was doing, so, and the weight loss and everything, so that's cool. So here are the envelopes, and as usual, it did great on the Clairefontaine Triumph. No problems there, and there's a lot of feathering and so forth on the cheaper Ampad brand. Can't wait to see that ink test. And then on the Leuchtturm, I loved how it did shade on there. Maybe a little difficult to see, but it shaded and it didn't bleed through with a bold, broad nib. So that was good. And then awesome on Clairefontaine small spiral notebook that I have. And surely no bleed through on that. CVS caliber paper, it looked just as good on that. So I write, when I'm writing like multiple page letters, or I really have a lot to say, I like to use this paper for letter writing. It's really, really good. And that ink did good on there. And then, of course, this is the Rhodia white dot pad, the normal, regular one. And it looks real good on there, too. Nice and shading and no bleed through. To remind myself on this one. Okay, this is the Office Depot cheaper college ruled notebook. And it did fine on there. No bleed through. And I believe it looks nice. I don't really see any feathering on there either. So I was happy with that. Okay, so let's get to the comparisons. And pardon me if I get upset over how it looks. Now that's just a little bit closer to what I'm seeing. So that's a little better. This is actually more accurate. I can't tell you why. It must have some complicated thing to do with lighting. But if you notice, the Colorverse Gravity Wave and the J. Arbonne Emerald of Chivor, they really are similar. There's a lot of similarities there. Emerald of Chivor has the shimmer. It has the little particles, so it shimmers. But there's a lot of shading and sheen similarities. And there's also that base color being almost the same. So I really was excited about that because I'm not crazy about the shimmer. So that this actually gives me an ink. Oh, I hope you can see how that did. See the edges on that? How there's red there, and I hope you can see it. It's just amazing. It's beautiful, and I can't get my mind off this ink. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the afternoon writing with it. And then, you know, I couldn't really come close with much of anything else, but I put them on here anyway so that we could compare. Di Tremendous Petrol, you know, no, it's much lighter and everything, but it had a little bit in common with it. And then these are way out there. For some reason, I thought maybe Monteverde California Teal would look similar, but not so much. It's quite different. And here we're seeing an accurate portrayal of how much greener California Teal is than either Emerald of Chivor or Colorverse Gravity Wave. Of course, you can make your own assumptions. I don't know why I think I have to, you know, I think all of our impressions are probably going to be a little different. All of these inks I love. I love Robert Oster Tranquility. And it's another one of those inks where it's sort of like, you know, it leans heavy on the green, and yet it's blue too, and it confuses me sometimes. But yeah, I really liked this part. This part helped me break down why it was so confusing. See how this is much brighter? Maybe the paper may just be how it soaked into this paper, but this looks different anyway. So, oh my goodness, this is very scientific. But there you have it, and this is going to be a fun day writing with the rest of this. And then tonight we have our the visitation for my nephew. I just wanted to show this old picture before I close. I found it yesterday, and I didn't know I had it. I had taken it when my son came home on leave. This is my son Carl, and this is Matthew, back when they were both 18 years old, about 14 years ago. They were happy that day, and it's kind of a rare picture. I haven't seen any other picture of him on his bike anywhere, and they worked it into the special tribute slideshow for, you know, for to be there at the funeral home. So I'm happy because that's a really that's a treasure that I didn't realize I had. I was looking for something else and I found it. So for tomorrow, we're going back into the red zone. We're going to Kaweco Ruby Red, one of my favorite inks that I've only used in cartridge form. I've not yet seen it in a broad nib, so I'm really looking forward to that. Now tomorrow's going to be a weird day, and maybe late at night before I visit this after the funeral and after the family events. But won't that be a blessing to have something a positive focus to come back to and work on, and you guys will get the video as soon as I complete it tomorrow, you know, or the next day, because sometimes we run out of day. So anyway, thank you for being here. Let's just quickly look at this. Looks like it's pretty much disappeared, but from what I see, there's still pigment, or there's still some stuff on the paper. So you'll find out with the Kaweco Ruby Red video how this did. And I'll see you then. And I just appreciate you being here very much. Thank you, and bye for now.